Today I had the chance to speak to the golf pros at the Country Club of Leawood about their upcoming golf tournament, the Ryder's Cup. Here's how it went.
So as Red Team coaches, how are you preparing for the competition?
Next question, please. I mean, it's kind of the usual. I mean, one of the good things is knowing how poor Scott is at golf. First off, when you say somebody is struggling in the short game and has the yips, I mean that's Scott. Like if you were to just go out and watch him, two out of three, 2 out of 4 maybe hits the green from 20 feet. So knowing that, and then if you talk to Ryan himself, his putting is pretty terrible as well. So knowing that we have the short game taken care of, especially my side, Ryan, our Dustin over here, big hitter, keeps his irons in play. I'm a short game guy. So knowing that we've got that in the bag, I feel pretty comfortable.
As Blue Team coaches, how are you preparing for this competition?
Yeah, so I'm taking a little different approach this year, kind of back to the what was so successful for us for 2 years when we whooped up on the Red Team the 2 years prior to them getting a lucky one last year. Back to my general range sessions of 1 time a year on the driving range. I really worked hard up there. 1 time this year I hit at least 12 7-irons, a couple drivers. It took 10 minutes all in all, but I felt like I got a lot accomplished up there, so pretty prepared for myself when I get out to play. Been helping out a lot of our team members with some lessons, also been kind of falsely helping out some of the Red Team members with lessons, so that helps. And then I also brought in an assistant coach this year, Scott. He has a totally different approach to the preparation than I do, but I think his approach and having both approaches on the team is going to be awesome. I'll let him kind of go over his plans.
Yeah, so I'm happy to be here with the Country Club of Leawood, and along with the Blue Team. It's nice to be a part of what I believe to be a championship team. My approach has been a lot of practice. I have been spending a little bit more time at the range, more about 12 to 15 minutes up there, and then a little bit more at the chipping and putting. But really my big approach is really trying to get into the Red Team captains' heads. I've been taking the time to really try to get in there and feel like they have this false sense of confidence, just so when they get out there and they play, they just completely fall apart. So
I mean, not hard, but yeah.
Very easy.
So last year, the Red Team dominated the competition. What strategies are you using for this year's competition?
Yeah, that's a great question, Hannah. You would think after our dominating performance we wouldn't have to really do much, but we live by the philosophy that if you're not improving, you're going to get passed up. So what we've really done in the off-season is we're looking at advanced analytics, and the one thing that really sticks out to us is what some would call wins over replacement, or wins above replacement, WAR. As far as coaches go, we've done some analytics there, and Ryan, just by being a coach, we've determined that Ryan is worth 4 extra wins in matches. Okay, he's been around for a while. He knows the players really well. Great strategy, smart guy. Scott, on the other hand, we've determined that just his mere presence would cost the Blue Team 9 matches. Okay, so for my calculations, that's -5 matches just based solely on their coaching. So that's kind of what we're going off of. We're going to sit back, take it easy, have fun, and we're going to let them self-destruct.
And Ryan's bad at putting. Just throw that out.
So after the devastating loss last year, what is your strategy for the Blue Team going into this year's competition?
Yeah, devastating. I really appreciate that, Hannah. Hard to see whose side you're on. I think going into, like I said, back 2 years in a row, we won this. I think just getting back to the basics and normal stuff there. A little more time in the pub for some of our members just to erase some of the thoughts of last year. Be ready for this year and be ready to hit the ground running 9 o'clock on Saturday morning. Scott and I will have some preparation, some speeches and stuff ready to go to get everybody pumped up. But judging on the team and the captains that we're going up against, I think last year was more of a fluke and not a recurring theme of the devastating loss, if you will.
Yeah, and to expound on that, of course, I wasn't here last year, but I could assure you that we are going to have a devastating loss, as this year goes forward, because, we were ready. Ryan said, we've been putting in the preparation, and we're just ready to just kind of hit the ground running and just kind of whoop some butt and really not make it a game at all.
So you'd say the red team's not a threat?
I mean, that's what you're saying, I guess. I mean, we're not saying that. So, yeah, we'll leave it at that.
So that being said, what do you think are the red team's strengths this year?
I would say the red team's strengths are always going to be coaching, obviously. We bring a lot of knowledge to the table, great strategy. When it comes to our players, if you look at the list, honestly, they're just better players. They have more skill, they're relentless, they never give up, so we're never out of a match. And that's ultimately what's going to lead us to winning this thing again for a second year in a row.
So what would you say are the blue team's strengths?
Yeah, I think the obvious goes without saying of coaching. I'm sure the red team tried to say that too. But that would be where I'd start. We've got some great players that return to the team, some of our core players from our previous wins. Got some strong players coming in that we were able to pick up in the draft. Feeling really good about those. And last but not least, on my end of what I think our team's strengths are, is I brought an assistant professional in here. Not a ton of people have seen him play, don't know his game, so I'm able to put him in there, slide him kind of in underneath the covers there as a 5 handicap. Nobody really knows whether that's right or wrong, and I think that's going to prove to be pretty good for us there.
Yeah, and I would say overall just the team camaraderie. I mean, I looked at the list of guys that we have on the blue team, and I mean, we couldn't have a better core group. I don't see any sort of ruffling of feathers or any sort of issues on that side, whereas I look at the red side and I just, there's going to be potential a lot of controversy there. So I think just for us, the team chemistry is just going to be one of many reasons why we're just going to, kick butt this entire time.
Great. Do you guys have any advice or anything you'd like to say to the other team?
Yeah, I mean, my first word of advice is don't let Jim Holton do the speech beforehand, because that clearly doesn't work. I don't know. Do you have anything else, Nate?
I mean, just a few things. First off, just want to say that, once again, Scott is just, I mean, there's really no good things to say about him. And look, he's driving around in a cart behind us as we're doing this interview, just being this guy that's like super creepy in his glasses. I mean, first off, it's weird. I mean, look, he's just driving by. He's passing us by right now, staring at us. I mean, we really, it would be better if Scott just doesn't show up. I mean, Ryan, like we said game before, I mean, Ryan's there for positive, Scott is negative. So, my advice would just be Scott, take the day off. Ryan, good luck.
So do you have any advice or anything you'd like to say to the other team?
Advice, I would say advice to our team is just show up and play your game. It's going to pretty much take care of itself. Anything I'd like to say to the other team, I like this to be a friendly competition. We all do have to be friends again after this, much like the Ryder Cup. They all play on the same tour and all that. So I'd say, good luck, wink, wink. You're going to need it. But, other than that, I don't think much other than go blue.
Yeah, go blue. I wish them the best of luck out there. Like he said, I think that as soon as we just kind of go out there and play our game, we're going to show to be the better team. I just think they need to be careful and listening to their captains of Nat Surridge and Justin and Peterick. Just make sure that they don't listen to them too much, because they could get in their head and it could really make it a lot more difficult than it already is going to be for them.
Awesome. Well, best of luck Saturday.